Hi everyone, my name is Chioma. I'm a mom of two, and in this video I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of doing a DIY macro lock. Mine is DIY, so I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the benefits. I'm going to tell you the disadvantages of getting your hair done all by yourself at home. Okay, so stay tuned. Also, it's different if you get this done by a professional, but mind you as well, there is a con to that. Microloc is different, sisterlock is different. So if you're getting somebody to do it for you that is not a loctician, a sisterlock consultant, it doesn't count. Apparently, if you see me looking down, I've written down everything so that I give you a whole full picture and full details about the benefits and the disadvantages of doing a micro lock. The first benefit of doing your own locks is one, it is cheap. It's cheap to install, it's cheap to maintain. We are going to talk about the disadvantage of this in a bit, but let's just be positive at the moment. It is very cheap. Basically, you don't need any product, you do not need to buy anything to start, you do not need to do nothing. You just stay in your house and you do your hair by yourself. Literally, you are not spending any money, okay? And it's also very cheap to maintain in that because you installed it, trust me, you are going to feel more confident when it comes to retightening as well. Don't worry, I'm gonna talk about that in a bit while, because a lot of people do ask how do I retighten my hair. Stay tuned, I have a video on that coming soon. The second benefit is you will know your hair, okay? You will know your hair. So if you install your hair yourself and you take that time and you put in the grids, you do the parting, you do the twisting, you know your hair, so it's going to bring you in a bonding journey with your hair. It's going to help you to bond more with your hair. You know what you're doing, you're learning as you go, and this is going to tie into my third reason, which is confidence. You're going to grow confidence in your ability to take care of your hair. There is a whole new confidence that comes with being able to take care of your hair, and then all the compliment you'll be getting out there, you'll be feeling even better because you did this yourself and people are saying, wow, your hair looks nice, and you did this yourself. Yeah, the confidence is amazing. No. The fourth benefit of doing a micro locks DIY all by yourself is that you don't have to worry if, God forbid, anything happens, esthetician is not available, maybe she's pregnant and she's taking a break, maybe she travels. You do not have to worry about emergencies of thinking who is going to retighten my hair, because bear in mind, if you get a sister lock, you will need to visit your loctician to do your retightening for you, okay? Unless you decide to do them but yourself, you're encouraged basically to go for them to retighten it just to get the process going. So the benefit is if you do it yourself, you are not going to worry or stress about what if or if something happened. For example, COVID happened, and guess what, a lot of people are not comfortable with allowing people to come to their homes to do their hair, or even go to the person's home to do it because of the the pandemic. But if you do it yourself, you do not have to worry about that because you are able to do your own hair at home. You know what you're doing. You don't need to rely on any other person to get your hair done. Go to the disadvantages of choosing to do a DIY micro locks, okay? First of all, it takes time. It takes an incredible amount of time. It is very, very time consuming. Like, how many times did I say it? I said it in 3 different ways. It is very, very hard to do, okay? It took me 4 days to do my own hair. Bear in mind, I have shouldn't do it just sitting down in one place for the whole 4 days. But I am also a hairstylist. But I have some skills, right? I can do hair. I'm very good at it. This is easy thing for me. It's very, very easy for me to do this hair, and yet it took me 4 days. So if you're just a starter, I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying it's going to take you more than 4 days. Sorry, it's gonna take you more than 4 days to do it. Some people do it within a month. That it takes them a month to do it. But don't worry, I don't want to scare you. You can have a wig that you put on. Just do it slowly. create a chunk of hair, okay. If you can first of all create the grid, okay, do a cornrow to it. I'm just giving you tips here. Do a cornrow to it, and you can start from one section, maybe at the back, and when you finish that one, maybe the next day you can do the next one. And while you're at it, if you need to go out, just put a wig on it because you have done a cornrow. So you're going to do different cornrows. I hope that's making sense. It's not going to be a puff, because if it's a puff, you cannot wear a wig, okay. But if it's a cornrow, it's flat and you're able to wear a wig when you're going out. So even if it takes you 1 month or 2 months to finish it, you are still fine to go out if you need to. And if you don't wear wig, just put a scarf on your hair and you can get on with your day. But what I'm trying to say is that it's very time consuming to install, and it also takes a lot of time to maintain as well. But trust me, it's worth it in the long run. Why? Because you can literally sleep, wake up, do this, and you're good to go. You don't need to do a lot. So in the long run, it's worth it. But this is definitely a disadvantage if you're thinking of installing a DIY Microlocs. The second disadvantage is regrets. Some people don't. I have a little regret. I'm being honest with you here, and my regret is that I did not do a lot of patterns on my head, okay. Some people, they go ahead, take the time, create the grids. They are just similar to sisterlocks. They create the grid that will allow them to be able to part and style their hair anyhow they want. So I have that little regret just at the back of my mind. I haven't had any need to do anything that would showcase the patterns that I didn't create on my hair. But this is a disadvantage, but this is just something to bear in mind. It is very advisable from me to try and take the time to create a very clear grid on your head. This will allow you to be able to do different styles to your hair. If you want to cornrow your microlocks, if you want to style it, maybe you want to style here and whatever you want to do with your hair, it will allow you that possibility of doing it. But if you go freestyle like I did, even though mine, I have some plans with it, because I put a line here, put a line here and a line here, but the remaining of my hair, there is no structure to it whatsoever. But this is a disadvantage. If the grid is not perfect, that's a little disadvantage there. It's not too bad. But the third disadvantage is you might feel scared and maybe insecure or just unconfident at the initial stage of installing your lock. You might feel like you don't know what you're doing, and especially on the retightening stage, you might feel like you don't know what you're doing. Do you get what I mean? Because sisterlocticians, they know exactly what they're doing. They have been trained, they're professionals. So when you give your head to them, you feel some level of confidence that they're gonna take care of you, they know what you're doing. But if you're a newbie and you're doing this all by yourself, and then it comes to retightening and you're doing this and you're making all this mistake on your head, you're going to feel some kind of way, and if you're not strong enough, you're going to give up. Some people cut it off sometimes because of mistakes and lack of confidence in taking care of their hair. So bear that in mind, just bear that in mind. But what I'm also going to say about that is just trust the process. There is a lot of information online that will give you a lot of tips and help on retightening, on all the questions that you might have to deal with in your journey. So just bear that in mind. But this is definitely one of the disadvantages of you doing your DIY, because you will come across many issues, and it's quite nerve-wracking because you are not a professional at this. Hope that makes sense. Finally, my last disadvantage is you cannot call it sisterlocks. Sorry, I know it's a bummer, but you cannot call it sisterlocks because people that paid a lot of money to do it are going to come after you. And people that are sisterlocticians, they are going to come after you too and going to be like, no, they're not. I have a lot of people say, oh, you have sisterlocks. You cannot call it that. It is not sisterlocks. which is understandable, right? Because a sister lock is a science thing. The sizing has to be right, you know, the tools that they use, you know, the way that they do it and all of that, and the number of locks that needs to be your hair. There is a minimum for it to be qualified, you know, to be called a sister lock. Yeah, so that's another disadvantage. If you are thinking of being able to call your locks sister locks, if you want to be in that group, if you want to own that name, then this is a little disadvantage. You will not be able to say, oh, I have a sister locks in my head. Yes, anyway, that's all of it. I want to encourage you, definitely, if you are thinking of doing microlocs, it's definitely worth it for the price, for maintenance, for confidence, and being one with your hair and growing with it. Is such an amazing experience, and if you're able to do it and start yourself, it's going to be a journey that you'll be proud of. But if you choose to get a sister lock as well, definitely go for it. There are benefits and perks to being able to get that done. There is no one way that is right for anybody, but it is what you decide to do, and just progressing from that and learning along the way. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do go on the comment section and let me know what you think. Did I miss anything? Do you have sister locks? Do you have microlocs? Let me know your experience. I would love to chat. It's such an exciting journey that I am in, and I'm so excited to share with you all as I am learning and as I am going. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.